Hello. I was actually one of the very first people that ran YouTube ads way back in 2014 and 15 in the sub-Saharan African continent. So my journey with YouTube ads started more than 10 years ago, and a lot has changed. I spend time every single day in the accounts in order to stay up to date, and I still run campaigns myself. And this video should teach a beginner or help you as a beginner to understand better what types of YouTube campaigns are there, how can I set them up myself, and how do I even choose which one I want to get started with, right? So feel free to pause the video at any point in time. This is really made for you to follow along, to set up the campaigns on your own, right? And of course, if you're stuck somewhere, if you need help, drop a comment below and let us know how we can help, and we'll get back to you. And of course, if you like the video, hit the subscribe button. So let's dive right in. And I'm not going to use any slides or anything. I'm going to show you right in the account the different types of video campaigns that you have. Now, typically there are two reasons why you might run video campaigns. Either you want to increase brand awareness or you want to increase your leads, right? And I'm going to start off with the brand awareness part, and then we're going to look into the leads part. Either way, whatever you want to do, you always get started with plus new campaign, right? And your main goal with brand awareness is to reach as many people as possible. Now, I typically like to say create a campaign without guidance. Why? Because that gives me the most options available. I can choose and nothing is hidden. With all the other aspects, there's always something that's not available, right? Then I go to video, and here's where it starts to get confusing. We have so many subtypes here. So currently, at the time of recording this video, we have 7 subtypes. We have video views, we have efficient reach, non-skippable reach, target frequency, drive conversions, ad sequence, and audio reach. Now, first and foremost, when you tick drive conversions here and you continue, let me show you. What happens is Google takes you to a demand gen campaign setup, right? It doesn't let you create these lead gen campaigns anymore with a normal YouTube campaign. But again, we'll get to that in the second part of the video. So let's go back here to our campaign types. So really, we have 5 options available for our video campaign. We have video views, we have efficient reach, non-skippable reach, target frequency, and ad sequence. Now, and then of course we have audio reach, right? So I'm not counting audio reach as like a video campaign necessarily, because that's purely focused on like audio engagement, right? We're probably going to cover this in a separate video, but for now I want to stick to video. Now, video views, trust me, these goals are going to change every couple months. So one would say, well, why would I choose as like a subtype video views? That's anyway why I'm going to create a video campaign in the first place, to get views, right? But yeah, this is Google's explanation, right? Doesn't always make sense, but it is what it is. Anyway, video views, very self-explanatory. Then we got efficient reach, right? Again, we want to make sure we want to assume, right? If I create a video campaign, Google is distributing my budget in the most efficient reach possible. But again, it sets it up into a different campaign type. That's just how Google works. We got non-skippable, right? So this is especially if you want to make sure that people see your ads. If you don't want them to skip them, then you choose non-skippable reach. Then you can choose target frequency. But again, you can also set a frequency cap in the video views campaign type, right? So it's a nice campaign subtype, but again, not too special either. And then we get ad sequence. Ad sequence is really, really cool, where you can create, let's say, 4 different ads, and you can make sure that people who see ad 2 only see it when they have watched ad 1. And they watch ad 3 only when they've seen ad 1 and 2, and they watch your 4th ad only when they've seen the first 3 ads, right? So to keep it simple, we're going to start off with video views, right? So let's go for a continue. And again, we're looking for brand awareness here, right? Video views, you can name it with I'd always like to add like the starting month and year. You can also like set it up now and then start it later. Keep all these ad formats ticked for now. You might need them. Then campaign total, we want to use daily. Typically, I let a YouTube campaign run in an ongoing format. Of course, there are exceptions, you know, when you have like seasonal offers you want to promote, but let's just assume you want to create ongoing brand awareness, right? And we're going to put a daily budget. If you are a really small advertiser, you can start off with like $5 or $6, right? If you are working for a larger company, start off with like 30, 50, $100, depending on what makes sense for your account, where you're at, and what you're trying to achieve with the campaign, right? You can set an end date, but again, for me, this would be ongoing, so I'm not going to set an end date. Networks. Here, very important. I'm going to take off video partners on the Google Display Network because typically that's not really helpful for my goal. All right, enter your location, right? You can also go for a radius here if you like, around your business location. Plenty of opportunities, right? Languages, I wouldn't choose them for now, I'd keep them open. Related videos. So here you can add, if you have other videos already on your YouTube channel, I would recommend adding at least these 2 videos here so that you have 2 more videos shown below your ad and people can engage a little bit more. If you're familiar with search campaigns already, then those 2 related videos are kind of similar to the site links that you have in a search ad, right? Then we can click on additional settings and devices. You can keep it on all eligible devices, which I would highly recommend in the beginning. You may see that the performance currently, again, at the point of recording this video, is better on smart TVs or like TV screens, right? If you already know that, then of course you can select only TV screens here. But again, if you're just starting off with YouTube campaigns, just keep everything ticked. Frequency capping, very, very important. We have once capped the cap impression frequency and cap view frequency, right? So impression frequency is the number of times a user saw your ad over a given time period, right? And the view frequency is the number of times a user interacted with your ad. And again, gotta love Google. It's like the same description starting off with here. Oh God. So guys, I'm just flabbergasted by like how this can't be changed. But anyway, so here we go. View frequency is when somebody watches 30 seconds of your video ad or interacts with the ad, right? Anyway, so here got the impression, right? But again, it starts off the same way. Doesn't make sense, but that's Google, right? So now, impression. What might be good here? If you want to go for like brand awareness, then by any means, don't set any frequency capping, right? But I'm always a big fan for going a little bit more for control so that I can let a campaign run longer and have more impressions over time than rather kind of like wear out the audience early on, right? So you could say per week, I want to have somebody see the ad maybe 5 times, right? But for view and interacting, that I might want to choose like month, right? Because you got to consider like if somebody views or anyway clicks on your ad like 4 times, that's a lot. That means they already got the message, they're already interacting. So it's like 4 is pretty much a good number. Ad schedule, you can keep that. And here you can go to skip ad group and ad creation, or you can continue. And what I'll do is I'm gonna say skip ad group and creation because I'm gonna show you how to set that up in your account and how you can add more ad groups later, because most likely in one video campaign, you don't just wanna have one ad group. You wanna have multiple ad groups that focus on different kind of audience segments, right? So we're gonna say skip ad group and creation. Okay, and I'm gonna say create campaign. And I'll say continue to overview. Perfect. And then I can see here enabled. I'm gonna say pause because I don't want the campaign to run yet. But as if there's no ad group or ad in it anyway, it won't run. So if I go here to campaign, And then ad groups, I can see that there are no ad groups and I can create the ad group, right? So I'm going to go ahead and create the ad group. And for the ad group name, I always recommend giving it a name according to the audience that you're targeting, right? So in this case, let's say I'm targeting moms plus interest in healthy food, right? All right. So I typically do not like to work with saved audiences because it's a headache editing them across your campaigns, right? So, all right, demographics. This is something I want to change first. I said mom, so I only want to target females. And probably I want to target them, let's say, 25 to 44, all right? Additional demographics, parents, so I'd want them to be a parent. I'm not going to change the household income right now. I typically keep that and let the data speak for itself once I'm getting the first pieces of KPIs and metrics come in, and then I make decisions here, right? As you can see, household income targeting is only available in select countries. If you click on learn more here, it's going to take you to a page that tells you exactly where it's available. If it's grayed out and you can't change it, that means in the location that you chose in the settings before, household income targeting is not available. All right, here comes all the fun now. Let's see, custom search terms. This is one of my favorites, and I was probably one of the first people to even use this and propose this to people because Google kept this hidden for a long time, right? So here you can target people who looked up certain search terms in Google, right? So, and what I want to do here is I want to add them one by one. This is a major mistake that most people make, is they just throw all the search terms together in one audience, but then actually we won't see which ones of those work well, right? Some people do it because they used to do Facebook ads before and they're like, oh, I'll just throw all the audiences together, right? But I'd like to separate them because then I can see how each search term performed, right? Now, I could come up with a whole bunch of search terms here already by myself because I'm pretty experienced in this, but let me show you a couple of tools that I like to use where you can explore those search terms yourself and get some more inspiration. So one of those is answerthepublic.com. Simply put it on, like, let's say, your country. Bear with me, everything is in German here for now. There we go. I can change it to English. You can see you have multiple languages here, right? You can change it even to YouTube, right? And then I can enter a topic. So in this case, we're targeting moms and interest in healthy food. So maybe I'm looking for healthy food prep tips for school kids, right? The longer you query, the better results you get, right? And especially in this age of AI where we're at right now, people are really typing a lot of questions in Google, right? So, oh great, we're not finding any results here. So if it doesn't find any results here, then use a shorter search term, okay? You just try it out a little bit. Then we have trends.google.com. And here, I'm going to try the same one again. And if we don't get anything, I'm just going to go for healthy food prep tips. Let's change that. And not past day, I'm going to say past 30 days at least. Okay, so this is too long. Let's do healthy food prep tips. Gotta love it. Let's do healthy food prep. There we go. This is already better. All right. So sometimes you just got to play around a little bit. So here I already see related queries, healthy breakfast ideas, HelloFresh, meal prep service. I can change from rising to top. And then I might also get more queries here. I can see here 1 to 5 out of 18 queries. In some instances, you might have more queries, in some instances less, right? And so you can already see some search terms here. So let me take some of those healthy meal prep ideas. So I'll literally go back here and I say healthy meal prep ideas, right? And as you type this in now, it's already going to start showing you alternatives of what else you can use, right? So this is fabulous. But we're going to start off with this one. We're going to keep it simple and we're going to say save, right? Now I click on plus new custom search terms and I put the search term in here. Whoops. Oh, I had a typo here, health and healthy, but that's okay. Like Google recognizes it. Easy, healthy meal prep ideas, right? So this is great. You should make sure to have at least 20 to 30 of these different search terms, and you're going to start to see the available impressions on the right side. Sometimes you might already be okay with 10 to 15, right? So again, it's not like set in stone. It's more like go with your gut and see the number that it shows you on the right-hand side. And again, if you're unsure, right, like just comment below and let us know where you're at and what you've chosen. And I'm more than happy to help you, right? So let's see. Let's see if it has anything with kids. Oh yeah, great. Healthy breakfast options for kids. This is great. Healthy breakfast options for kids, right? So that way I'm already going a little bit more into the school aspect. Obviously, you're going to see an increase in those queries during school times versus holiday times, right? So just also consider seasonality. Then let me go back to here. And for example, here I have healthy food prep delivery. Delivery, no, I just want to do like more healthy meal prep. Oh, healthy meal prep recipes. This is a good one. Healthy meal prep recipes. So healthy meal prep recipes. And there we go. And save, right? So you just add a whole bunch of options here. If it shows you like this. Oh, okay. So what you do is you just remove this and then add it last, right? And then you can keep getting the estimates here, right? So I can just add it back here. All right. So again, we want to add at least 15 to 20 keywords here. We got additional audience segments here, exclusions. We can exclude any remarketing lists if you're already using that, but again, you don't have to in the beginning. We can define people a little bit more, right? So we can go, for example, for in-market segments. And let's go to browse. And then let's see what we got here. College graduation, probably not. Let's see what we got here. If we got anything with like kids, school, food, there we go. Probably I want to target somebody who's interested in cooking and baking ingredients. Let's see if we have anything related to school or kids. School. There you go, primary and secondary schools, right? So you could target people who are interested in those. You could target people interested in school supplies. So there are plenty of options, and you just add those together that define your audience as well as possible, right? And so what Google then does, it says, hey, people got to be part of this audience to a certain extent. Plus, they got to be part of one of these audiences to a certain extent. And they got to match one of these, right? So that way you are becoming really, really concrete in terms of how you'd like your audience to be targeted, right? And in some instances, you might only have 5 search terms here because that's just what fits best for your audience. But in most instances, you're going to have a little bit of audience layering here to make sure you really target them the best possible way, right? We always keep audience expansion off, the same as like on Facebook. Like we never want audience expansion because we don't get any data about who Google expanded our ads to, right? All right, you can add some more details here, but again, don't overdo it. Keep it simple. Add maximum like 2 layers. So max like search terms and in-market audiences, or search terms and list topics, and so on, right? And I would very much encourage you to explore this on your own. Click on these aspects, right? Play around with them. See what's available. Placements is something I'd recommend only using later, like 3-4 weeks after your campaign has already ran, because you're going to get a placement report where you'll see where your video ad has been shown, right? So instead of like just looking up all these placements by yourself right now, you're literally going to get a report and you can just add the best performing placements into one additional ad group, right? Now, one last thing that I want you to be aware of, because I only mentioned it shortly here. If I go to browse here, what you can see is you can see a couple of like categorizations here, right? And life events is pretty self-explanatory. Parental status, again, you can target parents of specific people here again, right? So this might also be helpful. And in-market segment is, or are people who have bought something in whatever that segment is that you're choosing, right? So they are really, really close to taking action. Whereas affinity is somebody who's shown an interest, but is still in that kind of like research stage, right? None of them is necessarily better than the other, right? We've seen both perform great at different stages of the funnel. Just select those that fit best for your target audience, right? All right, now we got the audience set up and we're gonna skip the ad creation because again, here I wanna show you how to do this from within your account. We can add a target CPV bid. It's gonna show you that on the right-hand side. In this case, when I remove it, but for the beginning, I just say 50, right? And as soon as the campaign starts running, you're gonna see where the CPV is anyway. So the cost per view is you're gonna see what the cost per view is. So don't overthink this number, just add like 50 cents, 20 cents, whatever, and then you'll get data in terms of where that should be anyway. All right, so we got our one ad group here, right? And now all we need to do is add an ad. And for that, we're gonna click on plus. And we're gonna search for a video or paste the URL from YouTube. So again, this is important, or this is where it's important to already have your video ad, which is also partially why I showed you how to set up that campaign in different steps, because you can set up your campaign or the skeleton of your campaign without having your video ad ready yet, right? So you can set up the audience, the campaign settings, and then let's say you're going to record the video next week. And then all you do is you go back to create the ad and add your video here. Now, I'm just going to use one of our own videos, right? It might not fit necessarily with the target audience here, right? But just imagine that this was like some sort of healthy food meal prep video for moms, right? I just want to show you what to do here so that you know which fields to fill out, right? Now, it tells you videos longer than 3 minutes don't usually perform well as shorter videos. That's true, but sometimes I'd also want people to just engage more, right? All right, then here I'll put my final URL, right? So whatever your landing page is, let's say I'm gonna use our optimization guide. There we go. And then you can adjust the display URL, right? So I can say optimization 2025. Nope, that doesn't work. Optimization, get it now, right? So you can adjust it. It's going to show up on the right-hand side. You can see the preview here. Also, how your ad is going to show up, you can see here. And then I'm going to add a call to action, right? So for the call to action, again, you can see on the right-hand side, the blue box shows up. You can choose one from here or you can type one, right? So I could say, order now, right? And then I'm going to create one headline, a long headline, and a description. And you can see here, it already suggests long headlines for me. Typically, I'm not really happy with those. So you can use Claude.ai, you can use ChatGPT, any tool of your preference to help you come up with those headlines based on what is on your landing page, right? I'm just going to come up with one right on the spot here. Get the only guide you will ever need to optimize your campaigns in 2025. Only $7. All right, that's a long headline here. I can say, curated by a former Google employee who has helped 3,000 plus businesses grow. Add any social proof you can, right? Adding numbers is powerful. Adding how many 5-star reviews you got on Google is powerful, right? So just be as creative as possible. And remember, you can always create different ads, right? So you can't just create one ad. You can create 2, 3, multiple ads and then let them run and then see which headline worked best, which description worked best, right? If you're testing different videos, which videos work best, and so on. All right. You can keep this as it is. The perfectionist in me would upload a separate image, but in the beginning, keep it simple, right? Add one, you can say, I'm gonna name this according to the call to action, order now. All right. Get vertical versions of your videos. I would tick this off in this case because it would not convey the message as well as this video is, or what this video is meant for, right? And then I can say save ad, right? Let's see if it lets me save the ad. Perfect. Now, what happens, first of all, sometimes it shows you not eligible. That's okay. As long as the campaign hasn't started, remember the campaign is paused, right? It's going to show you that. It's okay that the ad is enabled. It's okay that the ad group is enabled. But again, as long as the campaign is paused, the ad group or the ad are not going to run. So what you can see now here is it's not showing me the ad I just created. This sometimes happens in Google Ads, unfortunately. Typically, when I check back after 24 hours, the ad shows up here, right? So create one ad first, and then you can always create more ads going forward with multiple variations of like headlines, videos, and so on, right? Perfect. That is pretty much it for a brand awareness campaign. Once you set up multiple ads, create more ad groups with different audiences, right? Again, it's going to show up. I'm going to go here. Where is our... There we go. All right, so I got my ad group here, and I can just create new ad groups with different kinds of audiences. The more ad groups, the more audiences you test, the better. The budget is set on a campaign level, which means that any ad groups that you have under that campaign are gonna fit under this one budget, right? In the beginning, that's enough because you just want to test what's working, what kind of metrics am I getting, and then later on you can start thinking about changing that, right? All right, so this was brand awareness, right? Remember how in the beginning I talked about if you want to do a lead gen campaign, you should create a demand gen campaign. And let's go back here to campaigns. So again, same story every single time. You're going to click on plus create campaign, new campaign. And then what you can do is, again, create a campaign without guidance. You can click on demand gen immediately because remember, video and drive conversions anyway took you to demand gen. So this just shortens your path, right? And then continue. And then again, demand gen, we want to say, let's put the starting month and date whenever you want it active. If you have an e-commerce store, then yes, run a product feed campaign. I would definitely tick that or turn that on. For the campaign goal, we're going to use conversions, right? If you don't have conversions installed yet, then just use clicks, all right? Target cost per acquisition, don't set that yet. If you're just starting off, you don't know how much your cost per lead will be. So setting that from the beginning would just limit you. Then daily budget, again, you could set that to something small, same as with the brand awareness campaign, right? Same principle. All right. Location and language. So here is where Google Ads is starting to become a bit different and adapting more like of a Facebook or sometimes TikTok ad style, where in this case, it lets you set the location language on an ad group level, right? You could do it in the beginning if you work with multiple countries and languages and you want to have everything under one budget. But again, we'll keep it simple and we're just going to do this on a campaign level, okay? Languages will keep as it is. Devices, again, you can adjust it as before. And then you'll say go to ad group 1. We're again going to name the ad group, right? So in this case, let's say I'm going to choose e-commerce. No, what I'll do is I'm going to choose wellness and wellness health providers. Let's do that. And then here I can choose, right? Again, very, very important. I would turn off Discover, Gmail, Display. I would only keep shorts if I would have a short video, right? But let's just keep it only with YouTube and Stream for now. I'm going to tick off audience, use optimized targeting, right? Yeah, again, it's Google being Google, right? So we're going to tick it off. I'm going to say add an audience. And then here, I'm going to add my audience, right? So first we can, again, limit the demographics if we'd like. In this case, I would keep it open. I would want to have more experienced people and the rest can stay the same. I'm going to say health and wellness and health providers. And of course, you can always rename the audience name if you choose something else here, right? So you can target people based on their search activity, downloaded apps, and so on, right? So lots of different options. Now, let me see what I'll do in this case. I'm going to show you how to set it up by targeting websites of, could be sometimes your competitors, could be websites of magazines that people read, right? So I'm going to choose people who browse types of websites. And here, again, similar to like the search terms when we set them up, you want to use one URL per audience, right? So I would say, I don't want to use real businesses right now, but you're going to get the gist. So, oh wait, let me see if I can choose some health magazines. So for example, this is a magazine that's like related to health and wellness. I'm going to put this here and I'm going to say save. And then same as before with the search terms, I want to make sure I have at least like 20 to 30. Again, if you don't necessarily get to that number, sometimes that can be okay too, right? If you are not sure what to target, just look for like health and wellness magazines in Google, right? Or books, right? You can also target book names. You can look up well-being magazines, and then you literally choose them, right? So here we got fit over 50. Let's take that, fit over 50. Let me look up the magazine name and the website. I found one that might not be necessarily the magazine, but anyway, Over 50 fitness, that's another one, right? And again here, group similar interests together, right? So in this case, I'm noticing I'm going for more for magazines. So I would say health and wellness and health magazines, right? And then I would just add at least 20 magazines or so here that people have visited, right? And I can save that then. Well, sorry, let me just jump back here. Again, you can add in-market, life events, and affinity audiences here, again, and detailed demographics. So that's the same as like before in a campaign setup, right? So whether you set up a brand awareness or a lead gen campaign, the difference is pretty much only the campaign type, video versus demand gen, maybe the audience targeting that you choose, and the messaging that you use in an awareness campaign versus a lead gen campaign. In an awareness campaign, you can use a little bit softer language, whereas in a lead gen campaign, you want to be more direct. Click here, buy now, shop now, get 50% off, whatever it is, right? All right, so I got my targeting set up, and as you can see here, I cannot skip the ad group creation or the ad creation like before, so I'm gonna go to ad 1. And then here, again, what's interesting, Google adjusts the ad creative here to what Facebook has had so far, right? Now, again, we want to do a video ad, and as always, I'd encourage you to test these other options as well. I can always tell you what we've seen work, but that might not apply to you, right? So I'd always encourage you to test one ad with a single image ad, test one ad with a video ad, test one with a carousel image ad, and then let them run next to each other synchronously at the same time, and you'll see which one works best, right? Then here, you're gonna do the same again, the final URL, you're gonna add it. So in this case, I'm just gonna use as a placeholder here our own optimization guide. It says, show a screenshot of your landing page and your ads. Yes, I'm a fan of that. We can absolutely keep that. And then here now it says add up to 5 videos, right? Please do not add up to 5 videos. The problem again is you're not gonna really see how each video ad performed, right? At least in the beginning. So add 1 per ad, and then it's gonna help you determine easily what works best. Yeah. Add a logo. If you don't have one, AI is your best friend, right? Then I want to tick off these options here because most likely you created a video ad that has a certain purpose, right? And then add up to 5 headlines, add up to 5 long headlines, and add up to 5 descriptions, right? So definitely do that. The more piece of information you provide Google here, the better, right? Again, AI is your best friend here. Let it help you with creating those, all right? Then the call to action text, right? You can say, what are we gonna do? Start now is a nice one. You add your business name, right? If you do not necessarily have a business name yet and you mostly advertise under your own name, then just use your own name, right? Site links, keep it off. I've really never seen that site links do anything with a video campaign, right? I've never seen them enhance the performance of a video campaign. So yeah, I mean, if you've already created them from a search campaign, add them, but again, not necessary. And then you got to add, you go to review and it's going to ask you to publish the campaign, right? It's showing me an error here now because obviously I haven't finished the ad, right? But that's it. You're gonna create a lead gen campaign in a shorter time than probably this whole video was, right? So again, I invite you to post your questions in the comments below. Let us know where you're at. Let us know what you liked about the video. Subscribe to our channel if you want to see more like these videos, and I'll see you soon.